Can I just say something? No, let's just get started. I have a party to go to. You and your parties, sacre bleu! I just wanted to point out that you can find the full tutorials of these videos on portraitartacademy.com. I worked really hard to upload entertaining, educational videos about art. And I already lost focus. Really? He is such a child, never interested in anything. And that's just, that's just an artistic choice that I made. I don't want to emphasize the facial features too much. I want this to stand out a bit more. And then on this side, so you just use one side of it. And then look how everything becomes more three-dimensional. Even though this looks very one-dimensional, two-dimensional, it's still really interesting this way. See, now we got some lines going on that are telling a story. And here you could do that too. Although I wouldn't draw it all the way over here. I would just make it fade. And then we have something, see? Here, maybe a bit more as well. Obviously, it is darker. See how you can go from light to dark and then just start adding to it. See, this could be interesting too. Right there. And this one right here. See that? This one separates this area from that one. So I want that one to be there too. So now I personally think this is way more interesting. It's like you're putting a shadow on there on one side that isn't there. And it just makes it look better. I've seen other artists do it, like, who is it, Proco? Or some other ones. And here, yeah, I would put a little bit of shadow here too, but maybe just to see the difference between this line and the background, but not as much. I don't want to do it on all sides, you know what I mean? Maybe I want something to be there, but not as much, even though it's just as dark behind this as it is over there. Does that make sense? It's an artistic choice that you can make. I want it to be kind of a shadow here. You can emphasize where the difference starts, but don't want to do it too much. See, it needs to stand out enough that you can see the white being in a different shape, but not too much. I might want a bit more over here. This is really important. See? Do you see? Of course you're seeing it. What am I talking about? Now, this is all very nice. Maybe I want this shoulder to stand out a bit more, because this is really kind of the focal point, this whole thing. And then this, smudge it a bit. And yeah, now we have an interesting drawing. See that? With this thick, crazy line that we made up. And almost like a comic. Why would you do that? Well, it just showed you the effect of it. You don't want it to be equally thick on all sides. So you could do that, but maybe you want it to stand out a bit more like this, like as if you're drawing an illustrator, like those curved lines, that it's thin where it bends and then thick in other areas. That way. Yeah. And then ta-da! Now we have an interesting drawing. Now maybe I still want this to be emphasized a bit more. Or around the ear. This area could stand out a bit more. Now all of this is going to contribute to it. All of this needs to just be dark. I'm squinting my eyes a little bit now because I don't want to focus on the details. I want this to be an interesting contrast. See in here, I can crop that out too. You see? I'm gonna cross hatch a little bit here in a different direction. And there we go. Now, let's take a picture of that and compare it to the other. Now, it's obvious what the changes are. You can see this line here, and this line is thicker. This one is added. There's a lot of shadow here, and then this here. And to be honest, I really think that even this looks a bit more cut out. there's just so much more contrast and so much more going on. So here it is, the comparison. Here you can see that it's the same image, took it twice, but here I added these thick lines. And like I said, I don't want to add it everywhere. I don't want to add it here. And you shouldn't always add it everywhere. But sometimes, maybe especially in anatomy drawings or like figure drawings or stuff like that, it can be a good option, especially when there's a light and a lamp and a stark contrast.